Oh, where's your weapons? Oh, you got a Maris and a Cressi. Whose Maris is that? So I'm gonna take my cousin out over here. Hopefully put him on his first uhu, but we'll see. We'll see when we get inside how the waters are, how the fish are, if they're tame or not. But let's go ahead and jump in right now. Aloha guys, Justin here with yet another episode of Fish and Dive Hawaii, where we give you all the best fishing and diving tips here in the Aloha state. And in today's episode, I'm diving with my cousin and his diving partner. Now they are both kind of new to spearfishing, and so I wanted them to tag along with me a day before they go back to school this summer. So throughout the whole dive, I was kind of on the outside watching them, making sure that they were all okay, and kind of guiding them outside as we worked our way around the reef. So these are some new grounds that I've been trying out. You guys seen in the last episode I shot that parrotfish or uhu over here, and I had that other one rip off. If you guys haven't seen that episode, it's right up here. One of my first drops on this dive, I seen this moano coming in, or goatfish, and I decided not to shoot it at first, and I thought, oh well, might as well try to call it in, and unfortunately it didn't come in, so I kind of missed my opportunity to shoot it. So my first couple of drops on nearly any dive, it's just to warm up my body, warm up my lungs, so that when I get to the outside I can hold my breath longer where there's more of an abundance of fish. And so this warm-up drop, I'm kind of just looking around. You can see a bunch of Minpachi in this cave right here. If you guys watch my other episodes, I do shoot some with my 3-prong or Polespear, and then I turn around and see if there's any uhus coming in. And they do like to feed on the inside reef, and sometimes they'll come in, but most of the time they're really skittish, especially the bigger ones that are comfortable feeding on the inside. And that's one simple tip for those of you guys who are new to freediving or spearfishing, is to just take a couple warm-up drops as you're swimming out. Who knows, you might get lucky seeing a big fish in the shallows, but the primary reason is that you're being able to warm up, so when you do take drops, you make them count later on in the deeper waters, or when you get on the outside and you're already warmed up. And so I'm already warmed up here. And here's another thing, you need to take a shot. You can see that papio or milu, bluefin trevally, whatever you want to call it, swim past my gun around a solid 2, 3, 4 pounder, big enough to shoot. Awesome tasting fish, but I didn't take the shot, and so I was pretty bummed out afterwards. I don't know, I might have been focusing on another fish or something, I don't really remember, but all I know is I was pretty bummed about it. One thing that I thought was strange about this dive was that there wasn't as much uhus or parrotfish as there were in the last dive. If you guys seen, there was kind of a lot of parrotfish around, and I don't know if it had something to do with the time of day. On this particular day, we were diving around mid to late morning, and the last time I dove here by myself, we dove around the late afternoon-ish. So that does play an effect, and so I'm going to keep that in mind for the next time that I dive here. Maybe jump in later on in the day and hopefully catch some more uhus. And although I didn't see any uhus on this dive, I did run into this nice school of mu, or a Bigeye Emperor Fish, which is one of the most prized fish to catch in Hawaii because they're very difficult to shoot, but they're also very good tasting fish. In my opinion, these fish are like the fish equivalent to lobster. That's how good the meat is, but again, they're very hard to shoot. You can see on the outside, I try to zoom in, those shadows moving. They got black and white sort of patterns on the top and a white belly on the bottom, kind of like a cow pattern. Maybe that's why they're called moves, but I don't know. Anytime I see one, I try to make extra effort to land one because I do like eating these fish. They're so tasty. So these fish almost always keep their distance. Anytime you shoot one, it's going to be like a sniper shot unless you have a really strong breath hold time and good technique where you're hiding really well, or you guys have a really good spot where they're just dumb and they swim right up to your gun. But they're super difficult to shoot. They also move in very erratic motion. So what I mean by that is they kind of move, they don't even kick their fins, slowly in and out, left and right, which can be very frustrating, especially when you're holding your breath and you're trying to call these fish in. So after 4 or 5 drops or so, probably even more than that, I was able to finally take a shot on one, and I was able to get one off. You guys can see the shot right there. I don't know, it might be difficult to see. Like I said, these fish really keep their distance, and that was kind of a sniper shot. There's actually one that was bigger in the background, but I didn't want to get greedy, give a little fist pump to myself because I was so stoked. I haven't shot one of these in a while, and like I said, they're one of my favorite eating fish. They're super tasty, And this is a scary part. Anytime you shoot a fish and it goes in a hole or something, there's a lot of things that can go wrong here. The fish can rip off, the fish can come off the shaft, the barb can close, as you guys can see in the last video that I did, where I lost a fish doing this on the retrieval. And so I'm really stoked. These fish don't actually rip off as much as uhus do. These are a type of snapper, and so I'm just really happy that I was able to land it. And so I'm going to go ahead and brain it right here, or kill it, put it out of its misery. And right now I'm just grateful that I didn't try shooting the bigger one in the background, because chances are I wouldn't have landed that one. At this point of the dive, I'm super stoked. I just landed that fish, and so I'm really comfortable right now. I'm pretty warmed up, was able to hold my breath a little longer than I normally can, and I found this really nice rock to hide under after seeing a couple moves sitting in the sand channel right behind this rock. And so you can see this is kind of a cool hiding spot, but it really isn't a good one, because in between the rock and the sand channel was still about 7 or 8 feet. So even if there was a fish that was coming from the sand channel, I wouldn't have been able to shoot or at least place a good shot, because it was really far away. So as I was hiding, I was peeking to the left, and I noticed a better hiding spot that was closer to the sand channel, and it was still a pretty good hiding area away from the fish. And so right now all I'm focused on is the moo, or the Bigeye Emperor fish that I just shot. I just got moo fever, and so I do pass up a couple of nice sized parrotfish or uhus, which I shouldn't have, because they did come into good enough range for me to take a shot. And so I kind of blew it here, like I did earlier in the video when I didn't take the shot on that bluefin trevally, or that omilu. So right when I thought it was getting good, my cousin starts yelling for me to swim in. He actually got seasick, and so after this I swam in, was able to land this nice moo, and that's about it. But that's good enough for me, because I really love shooting these fish. And I just want to show you something real quick inside of their mouths. These fish are so weird. You can see they have like human teeth in the back, some molars right there. I don't know, I think they use it to crunch up crabs. But anyways, that's it for part 1. I look forward to seeing you guys in part 2, where I'm actually going to show you how to make ceviche out of this fish. Now, I've never tried this fish any other way other than eating like raw pieces of it, but ceviche is so bomb, and we're going to learn how to do that in the next episode. So shoots, mahalo, see you guys later, and check out our website at fishanddivehawaii.com. Thank you guys.